Today I am possibly bringing you the world's largest graphite resource. Or if it ain't that, it certainly is the largest I've stumbled upon thus far. Welcome to another episode in my series Graphite Stocks, where I hope to one day have analyzed every single graphite stock on the stock market. That is of course because I am long-term bullish on electric vehicles. Every single EV uses a battery, moreover all the batteries we know of today use graphite. Hence why we are looking at graphite stocks, to decide which ones are the best for a long-term investment. Today's episode is all about Sarytogan Graphite, which is an Australian junior mining company trading under these ticker symbols. A company overview. First up, what are we actually looking at? We are looking at a company which is worth about 50 million Australian dollars on the stock market. Its most recent balance sheet was super healthy with a total equity position of about $20 million. Certainly not bad, but honestly that is secondary. Because if you were to invest in this company today, that would be because, well, their enormous graphite property located in the luscious grass fields of Kazakhstan. Their Sarytogan Graphite deposit is literally world class. It's both one of the largest and one of the purest graphite deposits I have ever seen. I want you to remember these two figures. 60 million tons of graphite contained, and it's found at a purity of about 28.5%. Now compare those two figures to the Metawini property of Nouveau Monde graphite, just 5.5 million tons found at a 4% purity. And then the Sarytogan Graphite deposit compares especially well. 60 million tons is almost 30 times the amount of graphite that Nouveau Monde graphite has access to, while it is being found at a graphite content about 7 times purer. But okay, Metawini was always known to be quite small, so how does this property compare to other graphite deposits? Well, this is Mason Graphite. This is actually one of the largest graphite deposits I've stumbled upon before I found Sarytogan Graphite. Now the important figures for this one: 11 million tons of graphite found at an average purity of 17.2%. So Sarytogan is almost 6 times as large, while being about 11% pure. Sarytogan is insane. Like I said before, this graphite deposit is massive. And aside from that, it is also super pure. Honestly, just those two reasons would be enough for me to yeet a couple of hundreds of euros into this company, hold for a decade and then see what happens. But aside from this massive resource, the company doesn't have a lot going on for itself right now. As we can see here on the company's roadmap, Sarytogan is still very much at the start of their long road towards commercial operations. During 2023, the company still hopes to upgrade its mineral resource report, complete a PFS or pre-feasibility study, and then start working on a definite feasibility study. There is just so freaking much to do before this company can ever start selling graphite. And I think that is a great point to start talking about my opinions. And my thoughts continue on the track we were just on a short while ago. The company is still extremely early stages. I do not expect the company to have any cash flows on the short to medium term at all. Now, on the other hand, I am very much intrigued by the company's resource. Actually, I would love to own a very small chunk of that resource, especially since the company is still trading for a very cheap valuation. Sadly, I am unable to buy this company myself, since no broker I have access to has access to Sarytogan Graphite. But perhaps you have better luck. Again, I would love to yeet an amount small enough that I know I can lose it all, hold for a decade and then see where the company heads in the future. Now, I am so darn intrigued by the company's resource, because if the company was able to sell all their graphite contained at graphite concentrate prices, that will result in about 100 to 120 billion US dollars in revenues. Now, those revenues would be over the entire lifetime of the mine. And of course, not all graphite contained in the resource is economical. But still, buying that amount of lifetime revenues for just 50 million Australian dollars today, that sounds like a lot of upside to me. Now, of course, the company only had 5 million Australian dollars on their balance sheet back in December 2022. That is to say, this company certainly will need more cash before the year ends, let alone before they finally start generating revenues. And that is the biggest problem with a company like Sarytogan. How will the company get this cash? Will it entirely happen through dilution? Will the Australian government step in? Are there parties that wish to loan them hundreds of millions of dollars for cheap interest rates? That all directly influences the current value of Sarytogan Graphite. And that is also why buying shares of Sarytogan Graphite isn't really investing. After all, absolutely no one, including the management team of the company, has the answers to these questions. The company will need to figure all that out over time. But one thing is for sure, I'll keep my eyes open for Sarytogan Graphite heading into the future. Now, that's about all I have to add about this company today. It is time for a classic YouTuber disclaimer. While I am a registered financial advisor in the Netherlands, I do not have the legal capacity yet to give anyone investment advice. Therefore, this video and any other video on this YouTube channel can never be taken as financial advice. I cannot be held liable for the losses you make while trading according to my opinions. Please do your own due diligence. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Peace.